Hello, this is World University in School WUAS News and Question and Answer on Monday, July 10th, 2023 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. I think it's 3 p.m. in Western Europe, and I think it's 7:30 p.m. in India time. And this is an open conversation, open question and answer time regarding World University in School for free MIT open courseware-centric online degrees from WUAS and potentially in all 200 countries and in their main languages. So as we wait to see if people will join this WS News and Question and Answer, the news I'd like to share with you is that it's possible to matriculate now for World University and School 4 years free web cc4 ocw.mit.edu-centric bachelor degrees, as well as master's degrees, PhD degrees, law, MD, AA degrees, and high school degrees. You can do so by simply, at this time, taking the computer programming class called CS First with Google at World University in School, learning the Scratch programming language. It's Creative Commons 4 licensed, like Creative Commons 4 licensed MIT OpenCourseWare. The URL for that is csfirst.withgoogle.com. Check it out. If you know of students interested in matriculating online from any of 200 countries, first in English, and for a free bachelor's degree or a free AA degree, show them this course. Allow them to begin to play with programming via this course. Agenda item 2, and let me just check again to see if people might be wanting to join us. No one yet. Agenda item 2 has to do with how to financially grow MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Wiki World University in School, potentially after moving into a newly safe Canyon 94516 on 9/1/23 with a business plan, and in particular for accreditation, and possibly with US government support and accreditation with Middle States Commission on Higher Education with offices in the greater Philadelphia area, and licensure with the Pennsylvania State Education Department, and eventually with reimbursement from 200 countries' education departments. So this is World University in School's continuing current focus. We need to pay the application fees for MISH and Department of Education, and we also need a business plan for the accreditation process. And in this search for ongoing resources and a business plan, World University in School is seeking possibly US government support or possibly monies from a foundation, Bill Gates Foundation, MacArthur Foundation. This is something World University in School is now focusing on, and with regard to a move back from the East Coast westward to the San Francisco Bay Area, potentially September 1st, 2023. A new focus for World University in School is a WUAS vaccine company or vaccines company. How to become a vaccine company quickly, particularly on the WUAS Press, WS Corp side, and potentially also with WUAS ambulance vans, and even for WUAS telerobotic surgery. So a vaccine company that might be, where vaccines might be distributed in all 200 countries from mobile clinics, from WUAS ambulance vans, WUAS mobile clinic vans, and even for aging reversal drug vaccines, clinical trials, and distribution, and potentially to save 7 billion plus people's lives. And even with a realistic virtual Earth for clinical trials. So the set of Twitter posts reads, in what ways can, at WUS Press, at World University and School, WS Vaccines become a vaccine company quickly, and with WUS ambulance vans for WUS telerobotic surgery and aging reversal drug vaccines clinical trials and distribution to save 7 billion plus lives with a realistic virtual Earth for clinical trials. And this is retweeting a tweet from Bill Gates with TB, tuberculosis cases and deaths on the rise. The need for new tools has never been more urgent, such as vaccines against tuberculosis. And the picture in this Economist article that Bill Gates tweeted is great also, with a mobile clinic van in a village in some country, with a house in that village also, and about 15 to 20 people, all dressed very colorfully, potentially waiting for the van, or perhaps waiting to see a medical doctor in the van, perhaps to get a tuberculosis vaccine, for example. Check it out. It's in 2 blogs that World University and School creates, the World University and School .blogspot.com blog and scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from, I think, it'll be posted today also, Monday, July 10th, 2023. Agenda item 4, WUAS clinical trials. And we have a wiki subject page that is for clinical trials, potentially for speakers of all known living languages. So increasing the potential for N, the sample size, dramatically to possibly speakers of all 7,168 living languages. So the N, or sample size for clinical trials in all 200 countries. And the wiki subject page is developing. It's in English presently, but it'll be in all 200 countries. And how best to do so, develop WS clinical trials in a realistic virtual Earth for clinical trials. Think Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, TensorFlow AI, even with little Pegman in Google Street View, becoming avatar bot medical records for all 7.9 billion people on planet, and each a Wikidata PIN number. And this is retweeting a Food and Drug Administration tweet from Dr. Rob Califf. Today we're announcing the availability of a draft guidance aimed at modernizing the design and conduct of clinical trials, making them more efficient and agile without compromising data integrity or participant protections. And it relates to another FDA tweet of a mailbox, a blue US postal box, with someone putting a packet into it. And this has long been an idea at World University and School for clinical trials, packets through the mail, that would then lead to possibly doing clinical trials in a distributed way with even people in such studies in their homes participating in these clinical trials, opening the possibility to increase sample sizes for all studies really dramatically at World University and School. So item 4B relates also to meeting a woman who works in, this was in Concord, Massachusetts a few days ago, where I was visiting, meeting a woman who works at Boston Scientific with clinical trials and who is originally from Sri Lanka. And could she help develop clinical trials at World University and School in many, many different ways with her substantial knowledge of how clinical trials work. And even for aging reversal genetic drugs emerging and in clinical trials now. And also, since human longevity RCTs, randomized clinical trials, WUaS clinical trials, potentially over 122 years old for humans, take so long. So Professor George Church at Harvard Medical School, Dr. Rob Califf, commissioner, FDA commissioner in the federal government, could we send packets through the mail to all 200 countries via World University and School's approach to clinical trials and develop ends or sample sizes from 7.9 billion people? And this is retweeting a picture of the an FDA drug packet into a U.S. Postal Service PO Box from Rob Califf MD, Food and Drug Administration Commissioner. So in a related vein, with regard to Shirani Amar Singh, who could be very interested in helping focus and develop clinical trials at World University and School, emerging from perhaps her Boston Scientific company knowledge, and potentially in also collaboration with Project Baseline, that's Alphabet company, Google company, Verily companies, Project Baseline, and Verily itself, and potentially in communication with both Stanford University and Duke University, part of the Project Baseline studies, and with a significant virtual focus, data focus for all 7.9 billion people. Agenda item 5, let me just see if people want to join us. At this point, I don't see anyone yet. Native American languages at WUaS. World University and School has a preeminent languages focus, seeking to be in all 7,168 known living languages and in all extinct languages as well. A recent count I've found is possibly between 500 and 1,000 extinct languages, and all as large language models, generative AI as well. And in this recent trip, I took to Concord, Massachusetts, and also Lancaster, New Hampshire for a 4th of July Concord Congress. There was a Native American ceremony on Monday, July 3rd, with 2 grandmothers from Ontario, Canada, who were sharing their teachings, and one of whom was familiar with at least 5 languages, Native American languages that relate to, I think, Iroquois and Mohawk languages. And World University and School has a Native American wiki subject languages wiki subject page, and an Indigenous Languages of the Americas wiki subject page schools, and is interested in developing these, potentially also in developing Native American communities who are interested in speaking these languages in a Chat GPT, generative AI, Google Bard, Bing AI, the three main generative AI, artificial intelligence platforms these days, and how to do so with these 5 languages that grandmother Renee was familiar with in this Concord Congress with a focus on Native American teachings, and potentially with all Native American languages. I saw at one point 3 or 4 years ago that there were 180 American languages, or are Native American languages. And I saw recently an estimate that there are 500 Native American languages that were spoken. Could we revive them in new ways further with World University and Schools online Native American languages for one? This is an exciting possibility, and great to meet both grandmothers Renee and grandmother Gail Whitlow at this Concord Congress. Best wishes abolitionally in asylum from California and Pennsylvania. Friendly regards, Scott. There's some blog posts relating to this if you're interested. Check them out. There's also a Native American blog label in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com that will get you to these websites, these web pages. Agenda item 6 relates to aging reversal genetics, and especially a novel idea of a realistic virtual Earth for genetics, in one realistic virtual Earth for everything. Think Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Cell View, Google Molecule View, Google Maps, Google Earth, TensorFlow AI, little Pegman in Google Street View becoming avatar bots, electronic medical records, even avatars of you and I, and potentially for genetic adding of aging reversal materials as a medical record. So a set of tweets relates to this regarding a new Harvard project, I think called Ichor, that so the tweet is how to add and code for transcriptome clocks so there's a web page for what a transcriptome clock is in a bioarchive. How to add and code for transcriptome clocks to n-dimensional physical digital realistic virtual Earth for genetics, Professor George Church. And per Google Cell View, per Google Molecule View with Time Slider, with film to 3D apps for species aging reversal. So humans, but also, for example, Drosophila flies and mice and E. coli, for example, and C. elegans, offering various species levels of complexity for further modeling transcriptome clocks as one possible mechanism for aging reversal that might work even cross species. The transcriptome clock idea and this new company that the WUaS Institute at Harvard University has created with 3 researchers, Alex Plesa, Bill Padel, and George Church as the technology team, is a fascinating model for universities creating companies that have a specific aging reversal focus with potential also for growth in many, many ways, and for solving interesting and timely and topical aging reversal questions. World University and School seeks to explore how to do this further, facilitate doing this in a realistic virtual Earth for genetics, in one realistic virtual Earth for everything, for species, for brain science, for STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, similar. See these hashtags also on Twitter. Item 6A, in a related vein, from this new WUaS Institute Ichor aging reversal project and company, gene network data is another focus of theirs. And and the tweet that I created along these lines has to do with hashtag gene network data and wiki, hashtag WUaS Wikidata. Wikidata is in 300 languages, and it's a structured knowledge database with querying that informs, will inform potentially artificial intelligence as data sources in 300 languages. So gene network data and wiki WUaS Wikidata per Harvard's Ichor, reversing aging, treating multiple age-related diseases by making cells younger. There's a interesting wiki I found in these regards, and it's also in this Twitter post, called genenetwork.org, which lays out a wiki structure for all of us potentially to add our research, those molecular biologists, for example, who might be interested, around the example they were showing with a structure for coding for this is wiki equals nicotine searches. What are the molecules that facilitate this? How to bring a gene wiki for genes and a genenetwork.org to bear with a realistic virtual Earth for genetics, and in seeking to facilitate gene network data with reversing aging and treating multiple age-related diseases by making cells younger, Professor George Church, into a realistic virtual Earth for genetics. Agenda item 7, just checking to see if people might want to join us now. Not seeing anyone yet. I'll post the video recording of this WUS news and question and answer for July 10th, 2023 to the current active YouTube page, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University. Item 7, Canyon 94516 on 9/1/2023 for a WUAS Academic Medical Center with virtual Harbin Hot Springs warm water cure, and a physical digital WUAS Longevity Genetics Institute, and an email from Don Tatson, who is a California State Senate volunteer in the District 7 office in the San Francisco Bay Area, who is also a MIT alumnus and a former mayor of Lafayette, California, near Canyon, California 94516, and in the 1980s, I think, received an email from him back to an ongoing question about moving back to a newly safe canyon on September 1st. And he sounded in his email, Don Tatson, a bit like the way MIT's Cecilia De La Vera, who is a first director of MIT OpenCourseWare, signed off in an email. And I put Don Tatson and Ed Smythe, MD, in touch with one another, further in touch with one another, potentially regarding facilitating making a newly safe canyon, 94516. I'm also wondering what the legal process in California, in the state of California, would be for some of these questions as well. Would it be a salvage house and that kind of law. Questions that are emerging for me. Agenda item 8, Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency free money daily invitation. I'm sending you 1 pi. To claim your pi, follow this link. And there I came across a recent best description of how much you can earn by daily mining every month. And it turns out this one person in this video earns about $10 a month. And World University School is seeking to facilitate encoding for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, Ichor Wikidata PIN number, potentially making a single main currency, cryptocurrency, available to most of all 7.9 billion people, and potentially to end poverty by possibly some sort of universal basic income experiments, such as with Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, and also regarding potentially encoding for these 7.9 billion people, creating free universal education that is wiki, people to people, teaching and learning among speakers of all 7,168 languages, and then moving from the coding for all these speakers to all coding for all 7.9 billion people. Exciting possibilities. Glad to have received a partnering letter from Stanford MindPi. Item 9, medical records for genetics in genealogy research. Avatar bot electronic medical records ahead. This is an interesting question that emerged recently with a genealogist I know who's very expert in interpreting and using genetic information, and such as the information you would send into 23andMe, or the genetic information you'd send into Ancestry.com or to Wikitree, where you might put some of your genetic material, say spit into a saliva bottle, and send it into these organizations, and they would process it. And this would allow you to see how your genealogy emerges in relation to other ancestors, other people who have also, living people who have sent in their genetic material in potentially more and more sophisticated ways as our knowledge of genetics and genealogy grow. So in what ways could, and this is a set of tweets, family genealogy history from medical records, and regarding WUaS genetics too, facilitate this use of medical records? And what are the oldest medical records? They're probably older than 4,000 years. The first ones are from 4,000 years ago. And how to engage this potentially also with avatar bot electronic medical records, both for living people, but possibly even for our ancestors. Could we develop avatar bot electronic medical records for our great grandparents, and in nascent ways, from a myriad of data, including genetic data, including our own genetic data, including combined offspring's genetic data, and create a new approach to even history, but also genealogy and genetics, and all in a realistic virtual Earth for genealogy too. Agenda item 10, WUS University's OCW, University Lego Robotics Kits for free MIT OpenCourseWare-centric online play, and for WUAS degrees, seeking Lego Robotics Kit to make a walking humanoid robot. and also a safe flying helicopter out of Lego robotics, a new Lego robotics kit, perhaps a quadcopter. And both, for example, just to deliver messages. One can make a humanoid robot out of a Lego robotics kit, but it's not, it doesn't walk yet that I've seen. And quadcopters or flying helicopters are just emerging with parts of Legos built from some parts of some Lego components, bricks and things like that. But it's not easily available out of a single kit to make a walking humanoid robot and a safe flying helicopter. Glad that at World University School at WUaS Press is an official carrier of Lego robotics kits. And this is the set of Twitter posts. Besides WUaS University's open courseware, and potentially with university Lego robotics kits, so a new approach to Lego robotics kits, university Lego robotics kits, and for free MIT OpenCourseware-centric online play, WUaS Degrees, seeking Lego robotics kits to make a walking humanoid robot and a safe flying helicopter, both to deliver messages. This was retweeting a Lego education tweet, which reads, "Research has shown that learning through play correlates to improved student performance. No matter how old your students are, learning becomes a skill when they want to get better at it. It becomes a skill they want to get better at and do more of when it's fun. How do you add elements of play to your classes?" And this is a question potentially with World University School and university Lego robotics kits, and potentially open courseware that World University School creates in all 200 countries' main languages for play and Lego robotics kit tracks on an engineering pathway, for example, a degree pathway at World University School. Agenda item 11, interesting new developments from Toyota with Toyota electric and solar robotics. Recently found a new thin film solar cell that Toyota has created. The article is from 2021. And the article's title is R&D into thin film solar cells that can be fabricated to fit any material. This is fantastic and fascinating, and suggests also a recent, it reminds me also of a book called Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro on humanoid robotics from, I think, 2020 or 2021, which is also a great read. Exciting that these developments are emerging from Toyota Electric and Toyota Solar and regarding robotics. In a related vein, I just saw that Toyota had a breakthrough potentially creating a solid-state battery for vehicles that has a more than 700-mile range and charges in less than 10 minutes. This is a dramatic breakthrough. The article was in the British newspaper publication called The Guardian. The article is also in the Financial Times. Fascinating for emerging developments with electrovoltaic cars and also reducing emissions, causing global warming, for example, in dramatic ways. Item 12 has to do with also a virtual rainbow gathering, like a virtual Harbin hot springs, a realistic virtual Harbin, and from a home bathtub even. And regarding my Harbin Hot Springs ethnographic book from 2016, Naked Harbin Ethnography, and now, and how to further facilitate a realistic virtual rainbow gathering And even for each year since 1972, with a realistic virtual Earth for history, think Google Street View with Time Slider with TensorFlow AI and Pegman, and especially the Second Life 3D virtual world, which is group buildable with avatars idea, and with VR headsets. I just sought to head to the Rainbow Gathering 2023 in near Gorham, New Hampshire, from July 1 to July 7, and found that there were so many law enforcement vehicles, nearly 10, near the entrance to the White Mountains National Forest, with no rainbow people going in whatsoever, unlike in 2008, 2009, 2011, when I attended rainbow gatherings in the west of the US, that it seemed unwise to go into this rainbow gathering. Makes me wonder how to create a virtual rainbow gathering, potentially with digital technologies in a myriad of ways. Stay tuned. World University and School is seeking to facilitate this in a realistic virtual Earth, realistic virtual Harbin, which also starts in around 1972 in its current form. Item 13 has to do with lifelong learning and the potential for emerging aging reversal genetic drug therapies to more than 123 years old for humans. Lifelong learning typically has to do with learning outside the university or the academy, or sort of structured in a sense knowledge generation situations. Set of Twitter posts. Lifelong learning takes on new meaning with emerging aging reversal genetic drug therapies to greater than 123 years old. Matriculate in English first for free CC4 MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and School WS degrees with CC4 CS First with Google at World University and School course. So that's on the sort of free degree side. The structured knowledge university side, more structured. Or begin to wiki teach or learn at World University and School. For example, the wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/subjects page, which has possibly 75 wiki subjects, and you can create a new one. So that's on the more unstructured side, the sort of lifelong learning side. World University and School is going to facilitate lifelong learning in both senses, in many ways. Check them out. Item 14, and as we close, here's the video recording of the most recent 626 WS News and Question and Answer from 2 Mondays ago. And item 15, the Open World University and School Monthly Business Meeting is on this Saturday, 7/15/2023. And it's at 12 noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 9:30 p.m. India Time. And you're welcome to join. Come participate with your ideas, your thinking, new brainstorms you might have, students you might know of who might be interested in free MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Google WUaS platform degrees. And until then, Saturday, 7/15/23 at 12 noon Eastern Time, or also the next WS News and Question and Answer will be on 7/17/2023, Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Have a good week. Wiki Teach and Learn at World University and School. I'll post the recording of today's WS News and Question and Answer on 7/10/2023 to twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH and twitter.com/WUAS Press, and also to youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University. If you have questions, if you know students who might be interested in matriculating at World University and School, email meeting@worlduniversityandschool.org, which is worlduniversityandschool.org is our email address. I'm Scott McLeod. Until next time, bye for now. Have a good summer as well.